Hello everyone, this is Sarfraz from Aristotle Prep and we are looking at question number 45 from the OG13 Critical Reasoning chapter. So the question says, Davison River farmers are currently deciding between planting winter wheat this fall or spring wheat next spring. Winter wheat and spring wheat are usually about equally profitable. Because of new government restrictions on the use of Davison River water for irrigation, per acre yields for winter wheat, though not for spring wheat, would be much lower than average. So it basically says because of some reason, the yield of winter wheat will be much lower than the yield of spring wheat. Therefore, planting spring wheat will be more profitable than planting winter wheat since. So based on the fact that you will get more yield of spring wheat, the conclusion says it's a good idea to grow spring wheat. And then something has to go into the blank which supports that decision. Okay, with that thought process, we will look at the options. Let's find one option that supports growing winter wheat. A says, the smaller than average size of a winter wheat harvest this year would not be compensated for by higher winter wheat prices. It actually looks very good because see, when you go to the argument again, it's making a big assumption. It's assuming that the price at which you will sell these two wheats will remain the same this year. What if the price that I get for winter wheat will be 10 times more than what I get for spring wheat? Then, even though the size of the yield of winter wheat is small, it might still make sense to grow winter wheat rather than spring wheat because it will be selling for much more money. So A actually addresses that. A says the smaller than average size of winter wheat will not be compensated for by higher winter wheat prices, in which case it doesn't make sense to grow winter wheat. Because if it would be compensated for by higher prices, then it might even make sense to grow winter wheat. So A actually looks like a very good answer. It's a tricky one. It's not a straight answer. You will have to think a little. But A looks like a very good answer to me. B says, new crops of spring wheat must be planted earlier than the time at which standing crops of winter wheat are ready to be harvested. So how does that strengthen the argument that planting spring wheat is a better idea because the yield will be more? It doesn't do anything to that. C says the spring wheat that farmers in the Davison River plant is well adapted to the soil of the region. That's probably the reason why the yield is more. But is that a good enough reason to grow spring wheat? Why not still focus on winter wheat? So also C does not give you any information about winter wheat. For all you know, the winter wheat also might be well adapted. D says spring wheat has uses that are different from those of winter wheat. Irrelevant. Uses are not our concern. E says planting spring wheat is more profitable than planting certain other crops are outside the scope of the argument. So A is the answer to the question. It's a tricky question. I would definitely give it a 4 actually on a difficulty scale of 1 to 5 because A is not a very straight answer. Have a nice day.